Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review MK Ultra. And this is a new thriller, and it's from writer-director Joseph Sorrentino, and focuses on the drug conspiracies that many people have believed the government of trying to force drugs on people. This is about the CIA's the CIA's use of MK Ultra drug experimentation in the 1960s on a group of psychiatric patients led by Ford Strauss, played by Anson Mount, who Mount here plays this doctor who's kind of brought into this situation, put in charge of this very questionably moral case study in terms of giving these drugs to a bunch of psychiatric patients. And you see Strauss's arc throughout this film, through Mount's rock solid performance. You see him having, issues at home with his wife, played by Jamie Ray Newman, and they're having some marital issues in the bedroom, and kind of gives some humanism to him. You see him being interrogated by the government, and that's an incredibly tense lie detector sequence in the film. And then you start seeing him engaging with his patients, and some of them, those scenes are really intense, and I think Sorrentino really soars in those moments where this film is really ratcheting up the tension and building that up and getting you engaged. Now, from there, this film, I feel like narratively, hits very familiar beats throughout the most of it. It's like, of course, he's going to become disenchanted. The film feels more like we're going to string together a bunch of tense sequences instead of having a more satisfying narrative. But there are some shocks and some horrible twists and turns along the way, especially in the third act of this film. And this film also intercuts a lot of actual footage about this situation and the investigation and these experiments and everything, which I feel like was a bold choice. The cinematography is very gritty and also feels very vintage. You feel engrossed in this time period in the 1960s. This has a lot of great elements, but I don't think it's a great film. I don't think it fully comes together to be a great film. But it's still a tense experience. Anson Mount gives a strong performance, and I think this film has particular scenes that really stand out. It just doesn't amount to much. It amounts to much less than the sum of its parts, because there's some great scenes here and some pretty well executed shocks along the way. But I still think it's an effective thriller, and if you just take it as it is, then I think you'll get some enjoyment out of this film. Or at least some thrills out of this film, which I think you might expect. But those are my thoughts on MK Ultra. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.